Oh, hey guys, my name is Matt Stevens, and I'm the author of Welcome to Work, a book to help teenagers get and keep a job. Today, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the person who's really helped me tremendously, Miss Amani Allen. Amani helped me in developing my website in three phenomenal ways. She helped to, number one, develop the website, to increase sales, and most importantly, give me a real presence on social media in which I'm able now to sell more books. If you are looking for someone to help you with your website, I strongly encourage Imani Allen. God bless you guys.
All right, greetings and grace. I pray that you are excited, that you are restored, and that you end the evening well. Come on now. All right. Continuing on, and that you feel peace as well. The type of peace that surpasses all understanding. The type of peace found in Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 through 8. Absolutely amazing, y'all. That's it right there. All right. So, Proverbs chapter 11. Continuing on in the Proverbial leader, we are on part 2 in this series. Chapter 11. The Lord detests the Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weight finds favor with him. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless makes their paths straight, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. Hopes placed in mortals die with them. All the promise of their power comes to nothing. The righteous person is rescued from trouble, and it falls on the wicked instead. With their mouths, the godless destroy their neighbors, but through knowledge, the righteous escape. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy. Through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. Whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. A gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. Excuse me. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. Whoever puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer, but whoever refuses to shake hands and pledge is safe. A kind hearted woman gains honor, but ruthless men gain only wealth. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin on themselves. A wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. Truly the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death. The Lord detests those whose hearts are perverse, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. People curse the one who hoards grain, but they pray to God. But they pray God's blessing on the one who is willing to sell. Whoever seeks good finds favor, but evil comes to the one who searches for it. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only win, and the fool will be servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Woo! All right, that's like, okay, 31 scriptures. All right, let's get on into it, y'all. Chapter 11. Again, we're in Proverbs chapter 11, verse 2. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. I love this. I love this because it's like we said, it's like we know and we've heard growing up, pride comes before the fall, and when that fall happens, right? If you are cocky, there was a word that we used a few days ago. I do not remember what it is. If you remember, drop it in the chat and I'll send you a gift. Drop it in the chat if you remember what that specific word was from a few days ago, where we talked about pride and arrogance. And this is the type of person you don't want to be. It was either an attribute or it was a word. I feel like it starts, I don't want to give any hints. If you remember it, let me know. Drop it in the chat and you'll get a free gift. All right. So when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. Every time you fall, that should be an opportunity to learn, right? Learn from your mistakes. Learn from that. Why did you fall? Right? That moment right there should bring you to humbleness, humility. Man, humility is on point. That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Humility is on point, man. Humility is on point. That's where you want to be. Um, yeah, because that's where the wisdom is. That's where the wisdom resides. All right. Where the wisdom resides is in humility. So be humble and be wise. Exercise grace, y'all. Man, look, what pride comes before the fall. Just be careful out here. You know what I'm saying? So be a great leader. Don't be a cocky one. Be a great leader and exercise wisdom. Uh, Chapter 11, verse 7. Hopes placed in mortals die with them. All the promise of their power comes to nothing. The reason why I, decided to, put emphasis on this one is because it's single out this one is because this talks about legacy. Jesus. Like this chapter, I love it a lot because it really talks about legacy. There's so much stuff in this one chapter alone that it just talks about how to actually secure a legacy, right? And then how to also set yourself up for the future. You want your legacy to continue on. You want to be able to have a successor or successors that understand the vision, that will take care of it, right? And will nurture it. And they accept responsibility as if it's their own, as if it was their own baby. That's important because when you die, if you don't have those things in place, everything that you created dies with you. That's the reality. I'm just being honest. And that's why I was like, man, okay, I'm starting to understand legacy more. A couple of years ago, I was like, I'm starting to understand what legacy is really about, and understanding it. I'm like, okay, you got to move differently. You got to move differently. I mean, we see countless examples of people who leave this earth, major people, right, who reach thousands, millions of people who have left this earth, right? Good people, or they were talented, but everything that they had died with them because they didn't set up successors, because they didn't set up someone who would be able to take things on and keep it moving. Instead, it died with them. And that's unfortunate. And that's why, they're saying, hey, don't place your hope in mortals. More so, think of it this way. What are they going to do after it? Right? We've got, I mean, just count we know who a lot of these people are, major people, and they didn't properly set up their legacy. And when you're studying people like this, right? When you're studying the greats, or the greatest of all times, the people that just made major moves and huge marks in the world, when you are studying them, you really get to pay attention to a whole lot of stuff. God will impart in you a whole lot of wisdom so you can observe and look at it from a different perspective than the regular eye, which is what you don't want. You don't want a regular eye if you are building a business, especially if it's a global one. Now, this isn't for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You got to know who you are and what it is that you really ultimately want out of life, and what you are really willing to do concerning the vision, right? The vision that's on the inside of you, or the purpose or the path that you're choosing to take, or that you're accept, or the call that you're choosing to accept. That's just the bottom line. So even though we're all going to pass, do your best to set up successors, set up how you're going to take care of stuff. All right? Because all the promise of their power, it comes to nothing the moment they die. Woo, Lord, I hope we all can start to live continuously longer. We are improving in these areas. I hope that we just get better at this, right? And we're thinking ahead. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. Lord have mercy. I read that. I had to read that a few times. I said, man, who I am today. Okay. Let me tell you something. Okay. I don't look like where I've come from, where I came from. And that is by the grace of God. That is by God really showing me, right, That is, my pride, whew, turn into humility. That is, life experiences. Okay, God, we're gonna accept the call. That's me running away and like, I don't want this. And God's like, if you want this though, you need to obey and rock this out. Okay. And I'm like, praise ye the Lord. I'm just being honest and transparent with y'all, man. It's hard. It can be rough when what you were born into, or how you were raised, your environment, the experiences you've had, all of these things shape us. DNA, biology shapes us. You guys, biology shapes us. I don't think you understand biology shapes us. You know what I'm saying? So like, where you come from, right? The tree, the family tree, even if it's 2 or 3 generations back, it still affects you, right? And so you really got to think about those things, right? If you are a generational curse breaker, don't just be like, oh, I'm a generational curse breaker. It's not a freaking trend, excuse me, because it's not a trend. I remember it being prophesied to me years ago that I was a generational curse breaker. I didn't get it. I was like, praise ye the Lord. Awesome. Whatever that means. I was like a young teen at the time. Not young. Was I a young teen? Oh, no. I was like a late teen, I think, at the time. I'm like, whatever. Praise ye the Lord. I'm with it, Jesus, And it wasn't until my 20s, maybe like the around 23, 24, when I was like, man, I really want to change some things. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to do things differently, and I need to understand these things, right? And understand like aspects of me, aspects of, how I am, the way that I am, and how I could be better. And, I didn't have the best discretion. I had some, but I didn't have the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, when I think about this, who I am today is significantly better. My God. But like, dang, I was like, man, younger Imani was a freaking gold ring and a pig snout. That ain't cute. That's a no for me, dog. So praise ye the Lord. I'm delivered. I'm delivered, as the dude said. But no, really, I'm delivered. Okay. So be encouraged. Don't be a gold ring and a pig snout, man. Nah, man. Right? Proverbial leadership. All right. Yeah, maybe that's a better type. Proverbial leadership. Okay, I like that. It has a ring to it. Okay. Chapter 11, verse 24, because I think I gave you extra. I've got two extra. Normally I talk about 3 aspects, but this one's just so good. Chapter 11, verse 24, one person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Let me tell you something. The more you give, the better. I'll give an example. When I have felt horrible, or like just had a horrible day, like you're feeling horrible because you've had a horrible day, right? I'm like, I don't like this feeling. I have a strong, strong distaste for it. And I'm like, I need to do something that's going to just, comfort me at this time. And for me, it was like, man, let me see if I can find a homeless person to feed, or, however I can help, do something to help out, what I'm saying? Because I need to just get this, like this bad day feeling off of me. And that's happened. And I want to encourage you, if you're ever feeling like that, you ever have those moments, to literally go out your way to find somebody to serve, and serve from a place of, just humility. Because even if you have a bad day, guess what? Somebody's having a worse day. Now, I'm not saying that to devalue you by any means at all. No, I'm saying because you are where you are still, even with that bad day, somebody is still having a worse day. See if you could find that somebody. See if you could help somebody and push them forward, because that opens up doors, not just for them, but God will just bless you when you're doing so genuinely. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're genuine with it. That's an important aspect of it. Right. And so like I would find homeless people to feed, or, I would, ask the Lord to, to guide me, and God would show me, saying who to bless and how to bless them. You know what I'm saying? And so those things are important, and you want to stay obedient to that, because if you don't, right, even if you think you don't have anything to give, you do. Dig deep. You have your time. If you don't got money, you got your time. If you don't got money, guess what? You got services. You can offer your skill set to help somebody. Especially, you could do that. And you can also give money. Those are three different ways to give. Be encouraged to find ways to give, y'all. You don't want to be in poverty, man. We already know what it's like to be in poverty. Most of the world, most of the US anyway. You know what I'm saying? Living paycheck to paycheck. Look, financial literacy matters. The more you learn, the more you earn. You want to invest in yourself. And like, I am a living testament to that. And I'm continuously growing, and I'm still growing. And the biggest part of my growth was when I took a step back so that I could actually focus and heal and understand and build for sustainability. Because the next biggest part of my growth right here is the application. Hey, baby, let's get it. Okay. Verse 29, whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. Man, I don't know if you've ever seen that show Succession. It's deep, man. I mean, I'm way behind, many seasons behind, probably like 2 or 3 seasons behind. But when you're watching it and how their family are, at the end of the day, how they treat each other isn't the greatest. You know what I'm saying? From the father to the children to each other. It's just like wild. And it's like, my God, that's a very toxic environment. That's not the type of, you know what I'm saying, family business you actually want to create. It's imperative. That's why it's imperative to work on you. The Bible says man, look, we'll get into it, but listen, the second generation, on average, the second generation has lost 70% of their previous parents' wealth. By the third generation, it's 90%. 70% is gone. You lost the wealth of your parents. The third generation. So your children, from what your parents created, will lose it. 90% of those kids. That is the average right now, right? We got to change that. How do you change that? You're breaking generational curses. You're learning financial literacy. You're understanding, developing skill sets that are actually going to sustain you. You're working on your character building, legacy. It's not just, oh, I'm going to have kids. That's not a legacy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, children aren't your legacy. I'm not saying that. I am saying if you want them to be better off than you, then your legacy is dependent upon how you raise them, what you do for yourself, and how you leave them. By the time you leave them, what you leave them with, the tools and the skills and the education and the time that you invest into your children, what they produce and who they become, that's your legacy. That's your legacy. And I'm a little passionate about this because there are people out here that just want to have kids just to have kids. No, that's foolish. How are you going to raise your kids, right? Who's going to teach them? Are you homeschooling, or are you putting them in a school system that took the Bible out? I mean, like, there's a whole lot of stuff happening in these schools, and you got to protect your seed, right? Your legacy, protect your children. Understand that really education starts at home. How you treat your kids determines how they're going to treat other people. You really want the world to be a better place? Become the best version of you. Become the best parent you can be now, even whether you have children or not. Whether you have children or not, I can't tell you how many times I've asked the question, what type of father are you becoming, right? What type of father are you looking to become to someone who doesn't have kids, right? And they haven't thought about that, right? Or even, connecting with people who do have some kids, you know what I'm saying? Yes, you could be a great guy. That's cool. What's your relationship with your children like? That matters, because why would I, in my right mind, I may have been jacked up in some other areas as I was growing and, maturing, going through this process. But I was like, I cannot give you a child if you're not even showing up for your kids that are here right now. Why would I set my own children? Why would I give you that gift if you're not going to be the best version of yourself for your children, right? If you like, and when you ask these questions, right? I'm the type of person, right? Hey, how can I be a better daughter, a better friend, a better girlfriend, things like that, a better significant other, that's better than girlfriend because, we're not girls or boys anymore, right? And so how can I be a better significant other? And I'll ask questions like that. I believe in check-ins like that. And then, when that question is put back on me, I'll literally say, invest in becoming the best version of you. So what do I mean by that? I mean, assess your weaknesses. I know we went a little bit over to that's all right, but I mean, assess your weaknesses. How can I be better in this? How can I do better so I can become better? You have to do to become. Do love, be love. That's the whole point of that, right? If you want something, if you want to be something, you have to do it. And in order to do it, you have to learn it. You have to be honest with yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Be like, dang, man, I suck in this area. Or you know what? I have a bad habit of this, but I want to be better because I know that it doesn't just affect me. It affects my future and it affects the people around me, right? You got to think of it on deeper levels, man. Look, this is not the time, especially with the way that the world is. It is not the time to be is frivolous the right word? Frivolous might be the right word, or foolish. It's not the right time to be foolish when it comes to your legacy and the children that you bring into this world, or even the people that you sleep with. I mean, I don't know about you, but the thought of, being with the wrong person or an accident happening, right? A pregnancy scare. I don't know if you've ever had that. Look, let me tell you something. The thought of being with the wrong person or having somebody else's child, right? And it's like, oh my God, that would be a mini version of you. I mean, I get it, but like, prevent it, right? We have to be responsible as adults. And look, once you hear this, it's up to you. There's more responsibility that you now have. And I'm saying that not just, I'm not trying to be rude or harsh. This is tough love with compassion. As someone who's actually practicing these things now, like, man, the thought of just, the wrong person, and it's like, man, nah. and I want kids now. And, that was because I started to understand legacy. I'm like, man, I don't want to leave everything that I've worked so hard for to just anybody, It's like, man, nah. And I know what it is that I desire, like more than 90% of what it is that I desire. So it's like, that's what I'm looking for. You got to have your list. You got to know what it is you're looking for. So be encouraged to take these things seriously. Who you are, right? Become the best version of you so that you can extend and exude what you want your legacy to reflect. Come on, man. Okay, look. All right. That's it for the day. I could talk about this one for a grip. Okay. Man, be blessed. God bless. And as you already know, I ain't got nothing else to say with that. God bless. Woo! God bless y'all. Greetings. Secure your path in just 3 steps. I myself knew a piece of my purpose, but I lacked the depths of my vision. I knew that I would make an impact, but I did not feel significant because I didn't know how to achieve this and actually make money online. Now I exercise the confidence of my purpose, execute my strategies for more impact, and I feel more fulfilled making money as a result, helping other educators do the same as me. Some have even left their 9-to-5. Specifically, this year, I want to help 1,000 people discover their purpose in depth, strategize their impact, and make money online organically with the right information and guidance straight, no chaser. Go to online.theetablueprint.com right now so that you can be confident in your purpose like me and no longer lost on your path. My name is Imani Allen and I own Priceless Faith Productions, where your impact can become omnipresent. 10x, baby!